Hey everyone, it's just Jennifer Beauty, and today I wanted to talk about consistency and how to stay consistent when times get tough. For so many of us, it's so easy when we're having a hard time or a downtime just to let everything fall by the wayside. But do you know what? We then start telling ourselves off and getting frustrated with ourselves. So I've got some 4 easy steps on how to keep yourself consistent when times are getting tough. So let's dive in. So I've been thinking about when I haven't been consistent and thinking about the reasons behind that when I've looked back on times when I haven't been posting as regularly as I should, when I haven't been getting those voice notes and those messages out to people or to customers to see if they need a top up of their skincare products or if they want to book a Temple Spa experience. I've been thinking, where was I at that point in time and what stopped me from being consistent? So number 1 would really be distractions. So quite often we use distractions as an excuse, and we all do it. It's human nature. You know, maybe you've gone back to work in the office 4 days a week and you used to be 3 days a week. So you're saying, oh no, well, I'm back in the office 4 days a week. I can't really run my business as well as I did. Or maybe the kids are on school holidays. Oh no, kids are on school holidays. It's a complete wipeout for this week. Can't do anything with my business. You know, it could be anything. Maybe you're having a difficult time. Maybe your partner's sick, or, you know, whatever it may be. Distractions, whatever they are, get in the way. And we tend to use them as a bit of an excuse for why we aren't doing what we should be doing. And yes, granted, maybe we can't do all of the things that we would normally do. So say, for example, it's because you've gone back to work 4 days a week. Of course, you are going to lose that day, but you're not going to lose all of the time. So instead of using it as an excuse, use it as a motivation. So turn that I don't have time into I can. So this is where you would use that day. You would find your hour. Maybe it's before work, maybe it's after work, maybe it's in your lunch break, and it doesn't have to be an hour, even half an hour, and do a blitz. Because blitzes are so powerful and you can get so much done in that blitz. You know, Fraser Brooks always tells me that when I'm on the toilet, find that message, go onto my Facebook or go onto my Instagram and reach out. You know, don't waste that time. When you're boiling the kettle, you can get 5 messages out. So just make use of all of those little pockets of time instead of using the distraction as an excuse to do nothing. So that really leads on to then time management, and it's all about being organised. So know how long you've got each day to work on your business. So I live and die by Google Calendars. I have my whole day planned out in 30-minute intervals. So as you know, I'm a skincare specialist, so I'm doing facials during the day, I'm doing reflexology, I'm doing spray tans. I've then got my social media to keep up with. I've got the podcast. I've got a team of 48 at this point of recording that I mentor. I then need to contact my clients as well. At some point, I've got to keep my accounts up to date and I've got to run the household. So how do I fit that all in? Google Calendars. And this is what keeps me organised. And a lot of people ask me, I don't know how you do it all. How do you manage your time? And it is all through Google Calendars. So what I will do the night before, so every Sunday, I've talked about this, I will set up my week. In the evening, whilst I'm watching TV on the sofa with the hubby, I will just look at my bookings diary and then put in all of my appointments that I've got that week. They are in red because they are my non-negotiables. They can't move because I'm doing treatments on clients. And then I start to populate, okay, well, what are the personal things that I'm doing? You know, what doctor's appointment do I have, or what dentist appointment, or, you know, you taking the kids to, you know, after school club or whatever. They are all your non-negotiables. And then you start to see pockets of time that you have available. And it might be that you've got half an hour between picking Johnny up and getting Tilly from ballet. So that half an hour can be your blitz in the car whilst you're waiting to pick the other one up. And you'll soon start to see where you've got these power pockets of time that you can then plan your day. So once you've got those pockets identified, the night before, what I do is I think, right, what are my goals for tomorrow? What do I need to do? So is there that one customer who's ordered that I haven't yet sent her details about the products that she's ordered and how to use them? Or is there a client who ordered a week ago and I need to do that follow-up to see how she's getting on? Or is that person who is a potential recruit, have I actually reached out to them and followed up? So that's where I will populate my pockets of time to say, right, these are the 3 things that I'm going to make sure I do in my day. And this is just for the busy days, right? Because obviously you'd be doing a lot more than 3 things if you had a free day to work on your business. But on those days that are super busy, I just pick 3 things and put them in half an hour slots. So it's just an hour and a half of my day, but those half-hour slots are just focused on that one action. So for me, I was noticing that I was waking up at like 7:30. My husband was still getting ready for work, so I couldn't go in the bathroom. I could go upstairs, but I don't like the shower up there. And there's no power shower upstairs on the top floor. So I would always wait in bed until he was done. So it would be like 8 o'clock before I got up, and then wash my hair and then straighten my hair. So I wouldn't really be ready to start the day until about 9:30. And then I was finding I was chasing my tail because I start my treatments at 10:30. So I hadn't actually done anything for my business in the morning. And then I'm finding that I'm playing catch up. So instead what I did is I set my alarm to wake up at 6 so that I would get in the shower before my husband, and then whilst he's getting ready, I'm downstairs and getting everything together. So it might be that I am recording my podcast because it's all quiet and he's upstairs. He's very loud. Or it might be that I am pre-writing all of my messages to my follow-ups, and I don't send them yet because it's too early, but they're all in my phone written out so that when 8:30 comes, I just hit send on 10 of them. Imagine how amazing that would feel, knowing that at 8:30 in the morning, you've got all of your messages out that you needed to get out because you've pre-sent them, you've pre-written them in the morning. And I have found that that extra time in my day has made and enabled me to massively inject an energy into my business. So the next thing is results, that, you know, things that will cause you to be inconsistent. And when I say results, I mean lack of. So quite often we'll start to do something and then we don't see immediate results, so we think this isn't working. Or you might have your goals written out and your goals are for the year, and maybe your goal is to recruit 28 people this year, and you think, well, I haven't even recruited one. I'm so far off of that. I just don't even know what to do. And you feel demotivated, and actually you just stop. And you find that a lot of this happens with Lux if people are going for the trip and their first couple of months haven't worked out how they had planned, and so they just switch off and go, oh no, I'm not going for it, I'm already too far off, I'm not doing it, and get despondent. I actually do that. I did that this year. But actually, if you split those goals down into smaller bite-sized chunks, so taking the example of 28 new recruits in 2024, split that into months, that's recruiting 3 a month on average. And that suddenly seems a lot more doable. And then you can say, well, how many people do I need to talk to get 3 recruits? Or how many social media posts do I need to do to try and attract 3 recruits? Or how many pamper experiences do I need to do to try and find 3 recruits in there? And suddenly you're building out bite-sized goals that are achievable, that you do on a day-to-day basis, but it really just sets up that intention. And so when we get this feeling of lack of results, quite often it's because we are tracking the results and actually not the action. But here's what you need to do. You need to flip it on its head. So for example, if you're saying that you want to get 2 pamper experiences booked in this month, well, just thinking that, you're not going to get it. What do you need to do to achieve that? What action do you need to take? Well, first of all, you need to start voice noting or calling people and offering them a pamper experience. How are they going to book a pamper experience if you're not contacting people every day? So your action would be to send out 10 messages a week, maybe, or calling 10 people, or going through your reports and finding your clients who haven't ordered recently, who might be due for a top up, who live near you. That you can say, I know that you're probably coming up to a time where you need to top up your routine products, well, why don't we turn that into a pamper experience? It can be a lovely girly get together or guys get together, and you're still going to buy your products anyway, but you know what, that could go towards getting a wonderful gift, and then suddenly you've got a pamper experience. So track that action, because if you do that action consistently, the results will follow. So stop focusing on the results. I need X amount of sales. I need X amount of new customers. I need X amount of recruits. That's just going to make you feel like you're failing. Whereas if you are saying, I need to contact 10 customers this week, I need to do 2 social media posts, or I need to do a blitz to invite people to my pamper experience, or I need to go in and drop off flyers at the local florist, or I need to go down to the local gym and speak to the yoga instructor. Having those actions that you can tick off will make you feel amazing, it will make you feel productive, but also you will start to see those results coming through. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was being overwhelmed. So one of the main causes for not being consistent is because you're overwhelmed. So if you ever feel overwhelmed, it's usually because you don't understand something or you're afraid of it. And I've done another podcast on this, so go find that about being overwhelmed. But if you ever feel like this, book in a one-to-one with your upline or your business coach. So try and have one-to-ones booked in fortnightly, because that will keep you focused. And especially what I tend to find is when people are struggling, they go quiet. So I'm always looking out for the people in my team who aren't sending me messages, who aren't keeping me updated, who aren't turning up to the meetings. They're the ones who are not quite happy, not quite achieving what they want to achieve. They're getting a bit despondent. So if you're a manager, listen out for who you can't hear, and go and spend some time with them, because they will really appreciate this. And if you are that person, reach out to your manager, because they have a whole wealth of knowledge, and if they don't have the knowledge, they will know someone who has the knowledge. So make sure you're doing that. And if you've got someone in your team who's quite analytical, then they need clarity in their process, or they won't do anything. So make sure that you have different bits of marketing material or different bits of training material that will cater to everybody's different working style. Some people need step by step, you will do this and then you'll do this and then you'll do this. Some people need the inspirational sort of way of talking, and some people need the ideas to think outside the box. And when you are feeling overwhelmed, or when you're finding that things are getting tough, always go back to your why. And this is why it's so important to know your why. And your why changes throughout your whole journey. You know, my why when I first joined was that because I do facials, it was a no-brainer for me to sell product. I used to be in the sales industry and property, and I always got a buzz, but I'm really targets driven. And so I always got a buzz from that. So for me, it was more about getting the buzz of the sale, because being a therapist, it's very therapeutic. It's, I'm connecting to source. It's very sort of zen. And I really missed that buzz. So for me, I didn't want to build a team. I didn't want to do anything but just get that buzz from sales. And then as I saw my journey changing, I actually, because I used to mentor people in the property industry as well, I thought, actually, I really get that buzz from that connection and helping people grow. So my why changed, and now that I am on the adoption journey, when I do hopefully get allocated children, my therapy room's going to have to close. So my source of income will be 100% Temple Spa. So now my why has changed again. My why is to build a life for myself with Temple Spa, but allowing me that freedom to look after hopefully my kids coming through, and not having people walking through the door. So always connect back to your why, because when times are tough, that why is going to drive you. And I know everyone talks about vision boards. I'm not a vision board type of person. I can't do that, but I have my goals printed up. I have 3 set goals. I'm looking at them now on my wall, and I've written them, and then I've got a page for each goal with my goal, my why for that goal, my motivation, my start date, my deadline, the reward that I'm going to give myself if I hit it, the obstacles that I need to overcome, the resources that I have when I'm finding it difficult, my big steps, my little steps, and my notes of things that I would want to do. And I've got that for every goal that I have. And then I have a tracker underneath it so that I can mark off every time I achieve a step towards that goal. And that keeps me driven. For other people, it might be a beautiful vision board that they have up on their fridge or up on the inside of the wardrobe, like April Joy does, and that keeps them focused. You might have the vision board picture saved as your screensaver on your phone. So whatever that is, connect back into your why, because when you're finding it tough, that will give you the drive to keep going. If you found this episode useful, please do me a massive favour and hit the subscribe button. And why not go and find me on Instagram at JustJenniferBeauty. Have a great day.